Just making this video to share with you, what I have planted this year, and I'm just going to go through raised bed by raised bed. And first thing I'm going to start with is the Black Beauty zucchini, and I mean they went in late and stuff, but I'm finally getting my first couple of zucchinis off of them today, and there you can see they're doing pretty good, pretty healthy, no bugs yet or anything. So they did make out pretty good, and this is the the first couple that I've picked for the year. So I'm a little bit late getting them, but I'm happy to have them. So that first box had the zucchini in, and then there's a bed right next to it that has this bush delicata squash in, and this is new for me. I'm trying this year, and I did have a problem with germination, had to replant quite a few seeds. So but what's there really looks good, and flowers are starting to come on, and you can see some small fruit starting to form. So it looks pretty healthy. And in the next couple boxes behind that, I tried some melon, and these are HALE'S best melon from Baker Creek, and they're doing real good. Just starting to get a couple little flowers on them. The plants look healthy, no real bugs or anything, and they're doing good. And then I tried some leeks this year and beets, and there are some other onions in this box too. So this box has the leeks, and they have to be thinned a little bit. Then some bunching onions, and then some Detroit dark red beets. I didn't plant too many this year because we canned a lot last year, so we had some left over. And then the box over next to that has the kale, some basil, and I also tried some of these birdhouse gourds that they call them. So there's the kale. That's getting ready. My wife's been enjoying that. I really don't like it. And there's the sweet basil. So that's coming in pretty good now, and we've been using some of that. And then the birdhouse gourds will be growing up on that trellis, hopefully. So that's that one. And then there's another box right next to that that's just basically a couple red and white onions for that juice salad that I made the video about that I make. And then there's also I saved some shallots from last year, and I put them in the ground, and they're doing real good. So I'll have another batch for this year. So that's so then the next box over has some of this TAM jalapenos and white eggplants in it. Now the Texas A&M jalapenos are only about 70% the heat of a normal jalapeno, and that's the way I like them, so that's why I plant them. And then these little Japanese white eggplants are great for stir fries, but you have to make sure that you get them before they turn bitter on you. And then the next box over just has these standard New York eggplants. They're just a regular black eggplant, and the plants are being attacked by bugs, but they still seem to be pretty healthy and putting flowers on now. And then I have one box that's basically full of all different, complete mixture of a couple rows of several different varieties of carrots here. And I didn't plant a lot this year because we still have quite a few canned from last year, so these are more going to be for just storage through the winter and using. So that's just kind of a mess right now, and I'm just starting to do some thinning in there, and I pulled out my first couple of baby carrots here, and you can see that these are real baby carrots, not like the things that you get in the store that are just cut up big carrots. So I rather than toss them away, I like to just save these, and they're really tasty and sweet, and even my little dogs love them. So they are really great flavor from these little carrots. Then in another box I have these tricolored bean blend mix, and I always throw a couple of these marigolds in around all my veggies too to keep bugs down, but it's just basically they're yellow, green, and purple beans that the seeds were all mixed up together, and they're just starting to to come get ready to pick. And I just grabbed a handful here to show you that they're they are yellow, green, and purple beans when they grow. And then in the box right next to that, I have the okra, and I just save those seeds from year to year. I've got to do a little more thinning in there. They're still a little bit close together, but they're, doing pretty good, and they're looking pretty healthy so far. And we just use a couple of these to put them on the grill. That's the way I like them the best. And then I have several raised beds full of a complete mix of different peppers. We really like to grow a lot of peppers. We like to do the sausage and peppers on the grill, and we make like a pepper relish and stuff. So these are just the boxes, and I didn't look at which ones are in what box, but there's basically two of these wooden low beds that are they're doing pretty good. The plants aren't quite as far along though as the ones that I put in the taller beds that I built that are right across from there. Okay, there's the other 3 beds, and you can see that these plants actually are a little bit further along than the ones in the shorter boxes, and starting to produce some peppers already. So I'm thinking that going a little taller box might maybe help them stay warmer or something. I don't know, but for some reason it could be all the fresh compost too that I put in these. So I'm not really sure, but they're really all doing good, and they're really healthy. And then I have a couple boxes full of cucumbers that are starting to do pretty good. I'm starting to see some of the little yellow cucumber beetles now and picking them off, but this is just a mess of cucumbers, and I just put them like this all together, and and then it's a pain to pick them when you have them this crowded this close together, but they always seem to do good, and there's no weed problem. So they're just starting to get little cucumbers, so it'll be about a week till we get really any quantity of them. And then I just have a little bin of the strawberry popcorn, and it's just a really great tender little popcorn that grows really well. And then the next bin over has some of the soil long cucumbers, and also some 3-foot asparagus beans from seeds that I've saved, and they're just on a trellis there, and I threw a sunflower in the middle there, and you can see they're getting some bug damage to the leaves and stuff, but I don't use anything on them, so I kind of expect that. But basically everything's growing real well. And then I've got some more of this kale planted, and this is going to be the later kale, and once kale gets hit by the frost, that's when it starts turning sweet, and that's when I really like it. And we like to make kale chips out of it too. And then another bed, I've got some Kentucky Wonder pole beans planted on 3 poles, and I threw a couple cucumbers in there too, pickling cucumbers, just to fill in the bed. So there they are, starting to wind up around the pole. And then I've got a bed with Genovese basil and some slow bolt cilantro. You really need the cilantro when the tomatoes come in, and this stuff tends to last longer before going to seed. And then there's just some of the Genovese basil there from some old seeds we saved. And then the next bed over has some yellow squash in it, and some other Blue Lake pole beans I put in there. So, I got the yellow squash growing, and then I just I stuck 3 plants of the yellow squash, and then just a pole in the middle with some beans to, so I don't waste any space there. And then the last box in the corner there has a edamame bean, and these are supposed to be like a black edamame, so we'll find out when they come in. And they're doing really excellent. They're surviving good with no bug damage. So, basically that's everything that's planted inside this fenced area now in the raised beds. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And you can see that, it's really starting to come along now, and it's a little late, but better late than never, and the bees are still spinning out there. So, yeah, my first little harvest for dinner. And then I'm going to just move up to boxes up by my house out of the early boxes we plant early stuff in, but now I'm starting to get the second crop in them. And first box has some of the Japanese cucumber. Well, the first one is strawberries that are just about shot. They're 5 years old and coming out to be replaced. And then there's some of those purple tomatillos. I never planted them before, so I'm just trying them this year. And then there's some Japanese cucumbers that'll be climbing that trellis. And next to it is last year's parsley. That's coming back up. It's out of control now, but that's how I get my seeds for, the future years. And then there's some new parsley underneath there started. And then there's also some rainbow chard in the next bed there next to it. And all the spinach came out of that one bed there, and the peas came out too. And this is basically what's left of the lettuce for the year. That was a real early lettuce, and that's all that's left now. We've been eating that for about 2 months. And there's some more rainbow chard and beets planted by that too. So basically this is, all the early stuff that'll be replanted soon. And the radishes came out of this other box down below, and I've got dill in there now. That's kind of behind everything. And garlic looks kind of terrible, but it's starting to grow, so we'll see. And then, just another little bed up here with some more rainbow chard and some more kale, and these are some more of the earlier carrots that I had put in that are, just a little bit further along than the ones down in the garden. And these are the first ones that we'll use up now to, for the year, and then we'll save the other ones in storage. So now I'm just basically heading back down to the area outside of the fence here. And, right here in this one spot, we've got the Long Island cheese pumpkins and the butternut squash. And I planted some Big Max pumpkins this year. I decided to try them. So they're all starting to get going. And never had these Long Island cheese squash before, but I can't wait to try them. We did them instead of pie pumpkins. And then there's some Big Max pumpkins, and you can see there's a bunch of hills of different ones. And they're getting going pretty good. And then there's some, in the background, you can see the butternut stuff. So they're all kind of mixed in there. And some sunflowers that are about 12 feet tall that came back from last year's seeds that just fell on the ground. And I kind of tilled around them and left them in there. And they're doing real good and starting to attract some bees and stuff. And then there's one Big Max pumpkin there that you can see the one vine is dying. It looks like one of those vine borers got into it, and I'm going to lose that one vine, but hopefully that's it. And then, up next to them, there's some more zucchinis. These are the later zucchinis coming in now, and there's some more of the delicata squash and some more butternuts, and they all went in late, so I don't know what's going to happen. And people ask me about watering, if I have any kind of irrigation, and I just have a hose down here and a little thing there to set my watering can on and fill it, and I just like to use a watering can when I water. And then I have some of the Jackson Wonder lima beans there, and the strike green beans, which are the canning beans that we grow every year. And the Jackson Wonder lima beans are the only lima I've had luck with in my climate. They grow really great. And then the only thing left are we planted 7 different types of tomatoes this year. And they're all kind of mixed up. And they got off to kind of a rough start because right after I put them in, we had a lot of high winds, and then we had a lot of flooding and rains and hail and everything else. So, there you can see they're starting to catch up now, but if you notice, there's 20 plants that are missing from the stakes, and I did lose 20 of the plants, but I still have plenty left, I think. Wherever I lost a plant, I just went back and put some more pole beans around the pole, so I figured I'd get some use out of it, one way or the other. And, they're starting to catch up now and do good, and you can see there's some marigolds mixed in with them too, just to keep the bugs down. So, it looks like I will get tomatoes this year, but I'm probably about 3 to 4 weeks behind where they normally are this time of the year. So, but I'm lucky to have what I have, I guess. So that's basically everything that I have growing this year so far. And I just thought I'd do a quick update to, give everybody an idea of what the different plants look like and how they're doing. And then I've got some grapes that are starting to, come in now too. So they're looking pretty good, even with the rough spring that we had. And then right behind them on the asparagus, I'm starting to see a lot of these little Japanese beetles. So I'm going to have to start dealing with them soon, I think. But basically, I just thought I'd give you a quick update, and this is, what I'm growing and how it looks right now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.